the Riot's Denise Loden is a warrior. She's a fierce competitor and an unashamed predator. In skates the prey. Rustler Lindsey Francis has been victimized by Loden throughout this season.
I heard Lindsey Francis once call me a tired old dog in an interview. Well, the only thing I'm tired of, Lindsey, is your act, which, by the way, you can catch every Tuesday and Thursday night at your local strip club.
That cheesy, worn-out old bag they call Denise Loden is a fake, and right now you got two people calling your bluff, baby.
Rustler brute Tink Miller is Lindsey's only hope for survival. Miller will clash with the Riot's Titan, but it won't be to save Lindsey from extinction.
The only thing she'll star in is Lindsey Does Texas. I'm done.
Miller may actually assist Loden in the Lindsey beating. The Riot try to make it 3 in a row against the Rustlers. Next on Roller Jam. From Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, tonight it's Roller Jam in the World Skating League from a Roller Jam arena. Tonight we bring you the Illinois Riot and the Texas Rustlers. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Rory Marcus, and this is Lee Hawk Rearman. And tonight it's the Riot against the Rustlers. The Riot with Denise Loden. Sure, she faced her nemesis, Lindsey Francis, with the Rustlers many times as a sundog. But now with the Riot, the gloves have really come off. Little Richard Brown says, do whatever you want. She likes it that way.
Well, don't forget, these two used to be teammates as sundogs way back when. But as a sundog, her behavior was the exception. As an Illinois Riot, this kind of behavior is the rule. Little Richard Brown has said, hey, wear the little psychedelic package, take the gloves off, even beat up your boyfriend if you want. And I tell you what, she has totally like a fish to water in that Illinois Riot uniform, or the Illinois Riot lack of uniform, Rory.
Actually, she was wearing gloves, but not much of anything else. Now let's talk about Lindsey Francis and Loden. Their rivalry continues, and it's been on the track, it's been off the track, it's everywhere.
Well, here you see a fight when Denise Loden, I guess she was still a sundog, she had decided to wear a little gold ensemble. And when I see this clip, the only thing that comes to mind is God bless America. But that continued. Here you see two of our most beautiful women in evening wear. Of course, the evening wouldn't be complete unless the roller derby queen fiasco ended up with clothes flying everywhere, which personally, I kind of like, Ron.
Yeah, what a night that was. When we tried to crown the roller derby queen. Well, the teams are about to skate out onto the track. Let's get the introductions. That's so they'll know when to come onto the bank track. All that fireworks and explosion and even more fire as the Texas Rustler women take to the bank track and get ready for this game tonight, Hawk.
Well, keep a close eye on Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis. They came out skating 1-2 at the end of that lineup, but there's no secret that they do not like each other right now.
Well, did you notice Talisa Miller never even glanced back at Lindsey Francis? It was as though, I don't care if she's behind me, we'll see what happens during this game between those two. Now, the men, and right there you see Brian Gamble and the Rustler men. I always think they come out as though they have something to prove.
Well, he's the leader of this G-Force, says Gamble, with the Texas Rustlers. They have been rocking lately. Gamble, of course, a former New York enforcer. He's got a bad attitude that he brought with him, probably from Brooklyn somewhere.
And he's going to have to try and stop this Riot team going after their 3rd win in a row since they picked up Rice and Loden. Man, they've been hot.
Well, there we saw the little psychedelic fun shake there, the psychedelic fun package. Look at the smile on Denise Loden. She's got it all going on.
I think you took too many psychedelics at one time. Now here come the Riot men onto the track. Richard Brown has been the king lately. His team's been winning. Ray Robles has been strong. And these guys have been almost unstoppable. And Brown is really feeling full of himself lately, and why not? He picked up a couple of great women's skaters. His team has been winning. They're trying to make it 3 in a row tonight. The Riot seems to have everything going their way.
Roller Rules, brought to you by Dial 1-800-AT&T for collect calls.
Here are the rules of Roller Jam. There are 4 6-minute periods. The women skate periods 1 and 3. The men skate periods 2 and 4. There are 5 skaters per team, 2 jammers and 3 blockers. The blockers wear white helmets. The jammers have the black helmet with the stripe. Points are scored when jammers lap opposing team members. Here's an example of what I was just talking about. The jammer for the green team breaks out from the pack and circles the track. For each member of the red team that he or she passes, 1 point is earned. The Rustlers tonight will have to contend with Richard Brown and Ray Robles of the Riot. Right now, they're standing by with Broadway Danny Wolf. Danny?
Yeah, the Riot coming off 2 big victories against the Quakes and Enforcers. You guys are the hottest team in the league right now. How much has Denise Loden improved this Riot team?
My girls feel top-notch. We don't have to worry about whether or not we need points. As long as Denise is out here, as long as Ray is out here, and as long as I am the king, we will not lose.
Good luck tonight, Richard.
I don't need your luck, and stop telling me good luck. God!
He might be aggravated, but he's taking the gloves off Denise Loden. Look for her to go right bare-fisted after Lindsey Francis, the Golden Girl, and she's got no protection because Tink Miller may be her worst enemy on the track today, Rory.
We are ready to go with Roller Jam, period number 1. Coming up, the women are on the track, and here we go. The whistle signals the start of action.
I just noticed that's a new ring girl, Rory. That's not a bad thing. I don't know if Kenneth Lowe brought her or not, though.
That's the longest it's ever taken you to notice the ring girl. We were 6 seconds in.
Well, I was trying to catch my breath.
Laura Heiser for the Rustlers gets sent up against the rail by Millie Guthrie from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And Millie Guthrie comes to the back of the pack. Denise Loden is working things out up there, and oh man, Loden just sent Lindsey Francis head first into the bench. Meanwhile, 1 Riot point scored by Millie Guthrie. And Loden gives her another shot.
That's Tink Miller.
That is Tink Miller.
You understand me? Let's go, let's go, let's go!
You hear Sean Corbin trying to get a little bit of, I guess, normalcy out of the chaos.
Again.
But Debbie Rice, she's one of those individuals who, we talked about the violent behavior and new attitude of Denise Loden. Debbie Rice seems to have got a little bit more aggressive here with that Riot uniform on. Of course, she actually is wearing the uniform.
1 point scored by the Riot that time, and Denise Loden making an early statement on how she figures this game's going to be played, and won by her squad, the Riot. And right now for the Texas Rustlers, Belinda Morgan gets out on the jam, along with Laura Heiser, so they have a 2-on-1 advantage against little Debbie Rice. Right underneath them she goes. Richard Brown's right about one thing. This Riot women's squad is sharp. They've really gotten better. And here comes Debbie Rice, trying to pick up some more points. The blonde bomber gets 1 as she goes by Carrie Johnston. There's another one. She has 2. Loden is ripping that pack apart. There's 3, and Rice calls it off.
3 red.
3 Illinois Riot points, and they jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Stay with us. We'll be right back to Orlando. The Illinois Riot leading in this game 4-0 already. Millie Guthrie jumps out of there against Amy Becker for the Texas Rustlers. Millie Guthrie's turned into one of the best jammers in the league. Amy Becker's right with her this time, though. And here comes Lindsey Francis chasing from behind. And Millie Guthrie got rid of Becker, but she has Francis on her tail now.
And one of the things that has made her so effective now, Millie Guthrie, is the addition of Denise Loden, and Debbie Rice has taken some heat off of her, Rory, and now she can really emerge.
Well, she's trying to emerge out from behind to Tink Miller here. Wow. Miller just rips that elbow in and then knocks Denise Loden down. And the Rustlers get on the scoreboard.
1 Texas point. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
1 point is all for the Rustlers, and look at Tink Miller and Denise Loden.
Well, if the first jam was all Riot, the second one was, or the third one was all Rustler, and they're not done yet. Sean Corbin has got his hands full.
Let's go!
Did you see the way Denise Loden just threw the helmet down and went after Talisa Miller?
That seems to be a trend here in the World Skating League, Roy. Either they don't want to wear regulation helmet, it's got to be like purple, silver, or blue or something, or whenever they get out there by themselves, they take that helmet off to show off that, in this case, the golden locks of the Golden Girl right here. We see some more blonde hair.
That's not a bad idea. Talking about the Golden Girl, there she is, Lindsey Francis. And the blonde bombshell, Debbie Rice, is right out there with her. So the 2 of them get out on the jam. Loden's waiting in the back of the pack for her teammate and pal, Debbie Rice. And here she comes, Rice. Trying to sneak past Miller, couldn't do it. And now she gets another shot. Meanwhile, Loden has dropped Lindsey Francis, and now she can help Debbie Rice out. And there's the shot in the back to Tink Miller, and the points for the Riot. Denise Loden has come out, and she is skating with full abandon tonight.
Pulled her over. It was like
man, she's got fire in her eyes.
Well, that was a clean sweep there. She dispensed of Lindsey Francis, the Golden Girl, and then immediately went up to Tink Miller. And it was 2 for Tuesday, even though it's not Tuesday. Wow, Denise Loden. Nice outfit, but she's showing that she can play too.
It's 5-1, the Riot leading it. And Loden working on Tink Miller, and the action goes back and forth between those two. Man, they're out on a jam, but they're more involved and concerned with beating each other up. That enables Lindsey Francis to sneak out of the pack. And the Rustlers get 2 jammers out while Loden drops back to block.
Well, one of the things that may be happening, Rory, is if you remember in recent weeks, Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis have been doing a little infighting here as Texas Rustlers. I guess the combination, or it's a combination and no longer a mutiny because they're unified against Denise Loden, apparently.
And meanwhile, the Rustlers are picking up points as they got by Loden and they got by Debbie Rice. Now the jam is called off.
For Texas.
4 Rustler points ties the game up. Lindsey Francis gets her first real opportunity to play to the crowd. Look at this. Denise Loden and Tink Miller. Oh, man, Miller threw a right hand right into the face. And coming up, a couple of faces you have to learn to love. Robles and Brown of the Illinois Riot going up against the G-Force and the Texas Rustlers. The men take to the track next. It's been a tough game. We're tied up at 5. Stay with us. All right, we're back at Roller Jam Arena. It's been quite a first period, tied at 5. The men are next, but first we send it back down to Broadway. Danny Wolf.
All right, I am here with Kenneth Loeb III, and I got to ask you, Mark D'Amato is always public enemy #1, but it seems like as of late, Denise Loden has surpassed him. I mean, she is the queen of sex and violence, Kenneth.
I know, Daniel, isn't it a shame? I mean, I still have no use for Mark D'Amato, but, and you can call me old-fashioned on this, but it offends me even more to see that kind of vulgarity and violent behavior issuing from a member of the fairer sex. Strange as it may seem, I am also finding myself in agreement with Sean Atkinson for once. Denise Loden is just not the kind of girl you want to be bringing home to mother, is she?
All right, thank you, Kenneth. I'm sure we'll be hearing more from you later. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
And we're going to hear a lot from this guy. Brian Gamble wants to show the Riot that their win streak's a fluke. And you got the king. I don't need to say much because he says plenty in his own defense. Little Richard.
Second period, Hawk. 2. And here we go. It's the first period as far as the men are concerned. And they come out here in a tie game. The Rustlers right away get Brian Gallagher out there, one of the G-Force. And he goes out against number 57. That's Travis Wills. And so far, Wills gets the better of him. But Gallagher doesn't give up. He jumps right up on those skates and he takes the chase up. Still 35 seconds left in the jam, so plenty of time for both teams to score. And now Gallagher is catching from behind.
30 seconds in jam time.
Wills looks behind him and says, here he comes. Oh, look at that. Pushed up there against the rail. That was like a malfunction junction right there. 4 Illinois points.
And 2 Texas.
2 Texas points, but 4 Riot points.
Well, the G-Force, these guys have all the physical ability in the world. You see David Gleddy getting, I guess, almost a handoff. Looked like a relay race for Brian Gallagher.
Gator boy Gleddy kind of looking around as though he's wondering what happened there.
Where's the alligator?
9-7. The Riot in the lead here in the second period. The men on the track for the first time tonight and going out of the jam. That's number 42, Jason Beckstein for the Texas Rustlers. And who's after him? Mike Tanner. Mike Tanner, like Mark Weber, they're both from Cincinnati, Ohio. There's a shot by Beckstein. They're coming up to the pack, and down goes Beckstein. That leaves Mike Tanner. And the G-Force turns around to face him, and they knock him down. Can he get by the G-Force? Here comes Beckstein, catching from behind. Tanner knocks him down, but runs into the G-Force again. He'll try it one more time.
Well, this looks like the Wall Street. I think Brian Gamble brought this over with him from his former New York Enforcer team, Rory.
They're out of jam time, and he got nothing. Zero, nada.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it rolling, let's get it rolling, let's get it rolling.
Richard Brown says, what the heck was that?
That was a G-Force special. Brian Gamble, former member of that five-borough lineup I was just talking about, came over with a few of those enforcer tricks in his back pocket. Over in New York, they call it the Wall Street. I don't know what they call it in Texas. Maybe they call it the Texas Roundup.
It's tougher than some of that wind that blows across the plains in Texas. 9-7. The Illinois Riot leading. And for the Riot. Out goes Travis Wills again. Both teams get two jammers out. They sometimes aren't able to do that, but this time they did. Marcus Abrera, along with Chris Cheadle for the Rustlers. Wham! The Rustlers now have the only two jammers out. Cheadle and Abrera. And there's Ray Robles. Oh, man, is he tough. He's back there to block. So far, they haven't gotten by, but now Abrera does get by Robles, who comes over to give him a shot into the rail. As congratulations, and now he sends Cheadle up there as well. 8 seconds left in the jam. They have 1 point so far. Robles trips, falls, and the jammers both go down. They gave him 2. Oh, man, look at Robles go after him.
So the one jam ago got stuck at the front of the pack. Well, he didn't make the same mistake twice. You see him in the back of the pack, Rory, just cleaning house on some of these young cats. But one word too many got him in the penalty box, but he was going to make this one count, wasn't he?
Sean Corbin warned him and said, say one more word and you're in the box. He said 3 words, I don't care, and zoom, he's in the box. We're tied up at 9 here in the second period. Mo Sanders, he's got a lot of speed, sometimes too much for his own good, and down he goes on his back. And spinning away in the jam is number 44, Brian Gallagher.
Let's see if these Rustlers can take advantage of the power play with Robles in the penalty box.
Robles watching as Gallagher comes up to the king. This is the first time we really called Richard's number in this period. Brown works on him as Sanders comes up from behind. Now Sanders passes Brian Gallagher, and Brown goes to work on the pack with Sanders following him. Richard told him to call it off, and he does. He picked up at least 2. That's exactly what they give him. 2 Riot points. They got 2 points with a man in the penalty box.
That was a clinic by Richard Brown. He saved himself a little bit. He picks and chooses his battles. He waits till his team needs him. Takes out a whole mess of G-Force and anybody else on the Rustler squad. Then he instructs Sanders to call off the jam. And look, he's already rested a little bit, Rory.
Well, make no mistake about it. Between he and Robles, the Riot have 2 of the all-time greats on skates.
That's like 4 centuries of experience, I think, between those 2.
4 centuries?
Something like that.
11-9. The Riot leading it by 4 now, or by 2. And out there goes Marcus Abrera of the Texas Rustlers. The last jam of the first half. Oh, Abrera gets taken down by Mike Tanner. Tanner's proven to be a pretty tough customer on these jams tonight.
Well, what has happened since the women have emerged as more of a force for the Riot, Rory, is these men, there's not this frantic need to catch up like there has been with Denise Loden and with Debbie Rice in their Riot, either uniforms or non-uniforms. These men can really play their game and not have to play so much of a catch-up, which is very difficult to do.
Look out, Bill Daly. Brown hit him, and it's Brown that goes down, and Daly stayed on his feet and continues the block. Now the jam is called off by Tanner.
Called it early. No score.
No scoring whatsoever. Nothing at all on that jam. Look at Daly. He said, what was that? And Robles comes over and says, hey, you're going to find out what we have in store for you later.
When I said that Brown picks and chooses his battles, he may have picked the wrong guy to battle with on that one, Rory.
11-9 Riot. We're at halftime. Stay with us. Halftime here at Roller Jam Arena. It's been a rough and rugged game, as we expected when the Illinois Riot are involved. 11-9. They have managed to gather the lead here. Denise Loden came out. She skates more like Brown and Robles every day.
I think she skates more like Jim Brown every day. I don't care if she's wearing that little sequin package that we all like so much. She came out, went right after Tink Miller, went right after Lindsey Francis, and the result was just pandemonium all over the track for the women.
No question about it that it was Loden who set the tone in the first half.
She set the tone by using the bench as a tuning fork, did Denise Loden. And Tink Miller, it's amazing she's still standing after Denise Loden went right after her. But she came back and got a little revenge. And you have to really be impressed with little Richard Brown, the king, matching the power play of his queen.
I don't think there's any question about what Lindsey Francis can do on the track. The crowds love her. They love her on the track and off the track. And in fact, she has a lot of ideas about women and what they can do off the track. Let's find out more about that.
The Lindsey Francis buzz has stung like a wasp since her arrival in Texas. You can love her or hate her, but one thing's for sure, the Golden Girl knows how to keep your attention. There is no denying Rustler Lindsey Francis's exquisite beauty, yet many find her morally reprehensible.
Lindsey Francis is a hypocrite, and believe me, lies aren't the only thing she's selling to the public.
Lindsey has no talent. Instead of sleeping her way to the top, maybe she should try practicing.
Innocent or not, Lindsey now wants to play role model.
I have decided to create an organization known as the Women of the WSL. Now, our goal will be to promote women's athletics. We'll do this by showcasing wholesome and respectable female individuals within this league.
Along with her other so-called good girls, Lindsey has been hard at work on her organization's first marketing ploy.
Our first attempt to advance women's athletics will be a calendar that will capture athletic beauty at its absolute best.
Even the winter months are sultry. Can anyone join Lindsey's Women of the WSL?
This organization will only accept women athletes who will be positive role models for our children. Women that are trashy and unfeminine, like the Denise Loden and Talisa Miller British types, will not, and I repeat, will not be a part of this association.
The preceding brought to you as a public service announcement by the World Skating League.
You're darn right we did.
Let's find out what Denise Loden thinks. She's with Broadway Danny Wolf.
That's right, Denise. We just watched a feature with Lindsey Francis talking about the women of the World Skating League, how their organization has positive role models. Unlike yourself and the Bod Squad, they believe you set bad examples. You're bad for women's athletics in general.
You know what, Danny? The only thing Lindsey can do positive for children is teach them to fall. I'm surprised she can get those 2 new assets and those big childbearing hips around the track. And as for being a role model, Danny, I never asked to be a role model. That was something that was pushed on me, okay? I just want to come out here and win games. And as for your stupid questions, Danny, you've got the same tattoo on your forehead as the Sundogs do. A big L for loser.
She used to be such a nice girl. Rory and Hawk, back to you.
All right, thanks, Danny. Maybe she's still a nice girl. Look at her there. She looks really nice to me. Denise Loden getting ready to go into the second half against the Texas Rustlers and her nemesis, Lindsey Francis. Don't go away right now. It's 11-9. The Riot on top. Jam Arena. We're ready to go into the second half, the third quarter. It's 11-9. The Illinois Riot with a 2-point lead over the Texas Rustlers. And the women take to the track for period number 3. And Denise Loden, fresh off that invigorating interview with Danny Wolf, says, give me that Jammers helmet and let me go, because she wants to get after Lindsey Francis, but it didn't work out that way for Loden. She's going to have to retreat to the back of the pack while Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis move forward. Looking for a chance to score some points against Loden, who claps her hands and says, come on, girls, come and get it. First, it's Francis who gets an elbow. Now Miller joins in there, and they go to work on Loden and knock her down. Miller calls off the jam, and I think Denise Loden is after Lindsey Francis again. Do these two ever get tired of fighting?
She talked about the assets.
And Sean Corbin trying to make a statement here early that he's not going to let things get out of control, but Lindsey Francis and Tink Miller, the 1-2 punch on Denise Loden. And Denise Loden goes after Lindsey Francis, and then Tink Miller, Rory, does not come to her aid. I thought that they may have put this inner Rustler rivalry aside, but apparently not. Tink Miller let Lindsey Francis out there all alone, and that's one person you need backup with, my friend.
She said fight your own battles as Loden nods her head. She's in the penalty box, but so is Lindsey Francis. No scoring on that jam. It's still 11. Oh, man, the pack just got murdered in there. Look at that. Debbie Rice fell down. I think she might be hurt. Somebody might have clipped somebody's skate, and about 3 or 4 skaters in the pack all went down.
Everybody else, roll on.
That was an accident. Sean Corbin comes over to take a look. Debbie Rice trying to get her gloves off.
She broke her wrist in 5 places last season. We thought she was going to be out for a long, long time, and she was back in a couple of weeks with a flexi cast going right back at it, but they come right out of the chute. You see her get sent into the upright. You only kind of catch the tail end of it there. You don't quite see her out of the screen.
You see the 2 Rustlers go down, and they're going to make sure that Debbie's neck is all right. She fell very awkwardly. Lindsey Francis over in the penalty box for the Texas Rustlers as a result of her fight with Denise Loden, so they're both sitting down for this jam. The injury to Debbie Rice kind of sapped the spirit out of the Riot, it seems as though just for a moment or two they've taken her off the track, and we'll try and get a little further word on her condition. Meanwhile, here we go. You see Shauna Brown there in the middle of the pack trying to get things going, and emerging from the pack is number 57, Crystal Schneider, and she's out there against Tink Miller. Schneider looking to try and catch Tink from behind, was doing a little showboating, and then Schneider gave her a shot, so she said, I better get down to business.
Let's go, keep it clean. That looks like slop. Knock it off.
Sean Corbin, the referee, telling Miller to keep it clean. She is into showboating, isn't she?
I don't know what she's doing, Rory. She's maybe it looks like a little Madonna video she's trying to do out there, but you got to wonder the balance of the new confidence and the arrogance, but you see what happens. Crystal Schneider may have taken advantage of that arrogance, Rory.
No question about it. She saw the pack was all jammed up and threw Tink Miller right into it. Look at Miller go down and yell at Lindsey Francis as though that were her fault.
5-on-5s, full straight.
Maybe she was mocking Lindsey Francis and it cost her some points.
Well, she's out here trying to, I don't know if she's doing a little Texas two-step or what she was doing with the little hand signals, but she got totally caught by surprise by the lift by the Riot, and the Riot pick up the points, Rory. Bad job by Tink Miller.
I'll say 14-9 now. The Riot have a 5-point lead.
Keep your head in the game, woman.
And the jam starts again. Lindsey Francis is out of the penalty box, and immediately she grabbed that black jammer's helmet and goes. So Lindsey Francis gets out, and now another shot for Crystal Schneider to go after her. Schneider grabs her from behind. She's the one that just scored those Riot points a moment ago. She's having to jam more because Debbie Rice was injured in this period, and this time Schneider didn't make it. She gets knocked down, and that leaves Francis by herself. She seems to have taken it upon herself to clean up this league. No wonder she's Lode's favorite skater. Back there to block now is Millie Guthrie. And Guthrie is setting her up for Denise Loden. Loden grabs her and sends her down. Denise has stars on her helmet, Hawk. She'll put a smiley face on her white helmet every time she takes care of Lindsey Francis, and a star every time she knocks down Stacy Blitch.
But it's not going to be long before there's going to be a new smiley face on there, because she dispenses of Lindsey Francis in short order with a little help from Millie Guthrie. She calls it the back attack, or at least her ex-boyfriend does. And you see a little, I don't know what we're calling that, maybe the psychedelic pump fest. Good for her.
And good teamwork by the Riot. Guthrie and Loden, and Lindsey Francis is like, it's like she's on an island. She's not getting much help from her teammates, specifically Talisa Miller. 14-10, the Riot leading it.
She's still cleaning out the cobwebs from that back attack. I think she might think she's on Gilligan's Island.
Now Miller gets the Jammer's helmet, and she goes against Millie Guthrie. And Millie Guthrie takes an overhand right to the back of the neck. Miller is one tough customer out there. Now the Pac's up there again on the lift, and this time they both got him. I think they both got them all.
4 and 4.
Yep.
Got 4 and 4 each way.
4 points each side.
Let's go!
Well, I was going to compliment Tig Miller on a great job. She didn't get caught showboating the same as she did last time, but then, Rory, she didn't call off the jam in time. She was several steps ahead of number 53, Millie Guthrie. Once she scored her point, she could have called off the jam. She neglected to do so, so both teams picked up the points.
And that means the Riot still have a 4-point lead at 18-14 now. Denise Loden takes the Jammer's helmet and gets a whip out there from Ileana Bonilla and goes on with the jam. With her goes Miller. These two combatants have been at it. Loden's had Miller and Lindsey Francis in her sights all night. And she gives her a shot up in the chin area. A little chin music there from Denise.
Well, this is as much Denise Loden making a statement as it is the absence of Debbie Rice. In this situation, Debbie Rice's speed would be called upon to try to get a flurry of points going into the fourth period, but as you know, she's hurt. And if she's out for a while, Rory, this Riot, I guess, new honeymoon may be turned into a nightmare.
Lindsey Francis gets sent into the rail, and Denise Loden playing an inspired game tonight. She's picked up 3. Now she knocks down Heiser to get another one, jumps over and calls off the jam, and then Miller's there to greet her.
Crazy. What's your problem?
Oh, I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
Please scare her, man.
I'm crazy.
She says she's crazy.
I guess that's yet to be determined, but here's a guy who certainly has all of his marbles in the right place. Richard Brown, the king, getting ready to go into the next period against Brian Gallagher and the rest of the G-Force of the Texas Rustlers. Stay right with us. We're coming right back. The men will decide things in the fourth and final period. Welcome back to Roller Jam. 3 quarters in the books. 22-14 Riot. Texas Rustler skater Lindsey Francis is with Broadway Danny Wolf.
Okay, Lindsey, we saw you get back attacked by Denise Loden. You're having some problem, obviously, with your teammate, Talisa Miller.
You know what? I want to say you're surprised by this. She's never there for me. She breaks your back next time. How you like that? You know what? I'm calling your bluff right now. Either get out or shut up right now. I want you off this team. There's not enough room in Texas for the both of us. I don't need you. You're never here when I need you. What the hell was that? Don't even start. You better stay away.
All right, Rory and Hawk, back to you.
Wow. We thought we were finished with the action from the women.
I have to say right here that I don't blame Lindsey Francis one bit. Denise Loden has been after her all night. And now we go to the fourth and final period. The men are on the track. Mo Sanders gets out there quick for the Illinois Riot. And with him is Brian Gallagher, number 44 for the Texas Rustlers. I always thought Texas was a pretty big state, but Francis and Miller, and somebody's going to have to change addresses, I think. And here's Gallagher, moving in to try and score some points and keep his team in the game. The Riot, it seems like they never lose anymore. Since they picked up Loden, and they've got Brown and Robles, who join hands now to lock up the pack, and sneaking by is Gallagher. Just a simple shove in the back.
For Texas. For Texas.
The pack was, once again, kind of caught up in a malfunction junction up there, and he went right by him.
Well, that little body part pile is called a lift, the G-Force, because they have so much skill and finesse, and bright young players were able to pull it off. And the old-timers, Robles and Brown, actually got caught sleeping, Rory. The young cats taught the old-timers a trick or two, got the lift, and picked up 4 big points.
That time they did, and Brown, maybe he's upset with himself. He's gone over to the bench for a jam.
I think he's just tired.
He'll be back. 22 to 18 now. The Rustlers are down by only 4, and they have 2 jammers out with nobody else with them. Number 47 is Chris Cheadle, and number 42, Jason Beckstein. Robles goes back. Says, without Richard here, it's up to me. Maybe I can take both of them on at the same time. So far, he's done a good job of it. The Riot jammer, Travis Wills, catches up from behind. Oh! Taken down by the Gator boy.
To Texas. To Texas.
Robles has had a tough game, and now he's in another fight. That's with Brian Gallagher.
What's your problem, Robles? You better relax, buddy. It's funny. You can find yourself in a box just as fast as anyone else. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll sit both of you.
You think it's funny? And the only people fighting more than Ray Robles are the Rustler women with each other, Roy.
I'll tell you what, Ray Robles doesn't think it's very funny. He's got a mean, mad look on his face as he skates by, and we get set for another jam with the Riot lead now down to 2 at 22 to 20 here in this final period.
Well, the G-Force have come out in this 4th period like gangbusters. Gallagher scored some points. David Gleddy has added the muscle, and Brian Gamble is his usual leadership self. And now a non-G-Force member, Marcus Abrera, may be getting out.
And Marcus Abrera gets out, goes down, as Mike Tanner continues on with the jam. Both Brown and Robles are in the pack now, and as Tanner comes up to the back of the pack, he encounters Beckstein and Bill Daly. They lock arms. And so far, Tanner's not been able to get through. Brown has snuck back to the back of the pack. What does he have in mind? First, he gets rid of Abrera. Now he's going to break up this block. Let's see what he can do. He gathers some speed. He gets there, and he takes him down. The points piling up for number 54, Mike Tanner, who calls the jam off. Here we go again.
Richard Brown saving the best for last. I said earlier he took a seat because he was tired. Well, he came back well rested and dispensed to Beckstein and Daly. Those aren't 2 small guys either. And look at him. He's so relaxed. He's done it 1,000 times.
26-21, Brown in the Riot lead. We're back after this. Just a couple of minutes left in the game. The Illinois Riot leading the Texas Rustlers 26-21. It's been a tough battle tonight. Somebody's going to have to emerge here and win this game. We'll see who the individual stars are now. Chris Cheadle's out there for the Rustlers, and with him goes Andy Wallace of the Riot. Wallace hasn't jammed all night, and maybe he won't jam again. He's going to have to get up and get back in that pack. That leaves Chris Cheadle out by himself. Just one jammer out there, and Robles, who didn't think anything was funny a minute ago, really doesn't think this is funny. With the game on the line, he's the one that has to try and hold up this lead for the Riot, and he takes a hip check and goes down. The Rustlers with a chance to maybe even this thing up. Cheadle had to call it off. They give him 3 points, and that makes it 26-24. The Riot leading it, but just barely.
Well, Cheadle got the points, but this was all Brian Gamble. He comes up, he calls it the Air Ninja. Ray Robles not taking right off those quad skates.
26-24.
This is it.
The Riot leading it by 2, and who's going to win it? They get out on the jam, and right now for the Illinois Riot and Texas Rustlers, there goes Brian Gallagher for the Rustlers. He's by himself now, and he has a chance to win this game. The pack is all jammed up. Gallagher's the only one right now who's out there, and it looks like the Riot are going to try and pull away. The Riot are going to try and preserve their lead in a pull away. Can they do it? Plenty of time for Gallagher to catch him if he can. 23 seconds left on the jam. He needs 3 to win it, though. Richard Brown leading the pull-away. So far, Gallagher hasn't gotten there, but he's getting closer.
The Riot,
12 seconds left in the jam.
The Riot better look back or they're going to get caught sleeping.
Brown looked back and said, here he comes, let me take care of him. What a play by Richard Brown. He stopped the pull-away at the perfect time, and the Riot wins another one.
They executed it perfectly, Rory. Little Richard Brown.
Little Richard Brown went to the front of the pack in the pull-away, and when he saw that Gallagher was catching, he slipped back to the back, knocked him down, and by that time had run out. The Riot almost seems unbeatable right now since she joined the team. And the Rustlers are in complete disarray, especially on the women's side. Look at Lindsey Francis still yelling.
Well, she's still yelling at Talisa Miller, Rory. But little Richard Brown, the pull-away is an effective tool if you keep your head and eyes up and send someone back to stop the jammer once he comes up close to the pack. Ryan Gallagher, he's a speedster, but little Richard Brown eyes the door, walks to the door, and he closes the door. Brian Gallagher's no more. The Riot pull out a big victory.
Broadway Danny Wolf is with the victorious Little Richard Brown and Denise Loden.
That's right, the Riot do it again. 3 big wins in a row, the hottest team, no doubt, in the league. I've got to ask you, Denise, the fighting between Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis, I mean, that was, what do you think of?
You know what? Not that I even give a crap about Lindsey, but that's typical of Lindsey. It's the same thing she did when she was with the Sundogs. She brings chaos to every team that she goes to. Richard, is this getting too easy or what?
What is this? I am the king?
And I'm the queen,
And
baby.
we're gonna rule the WSL. 3 days in a row. We cannot be beat. Nobody is gonna beat the Riot. We are the best in the world. East, North, South.
Yeah!
King and queen together. We will rule. Yeah!
Well, that is quite a king and queen. Victorious again, the Riot, that's 3 in a row. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
Richard Brown as the king, Denise Loden as the queen, and Broadway Danny Wolf as the court jester. Tink Miller says, cry, baby, cry to Lindsey Francis. This team is in disarray, but the Riot is rolling. And maybe they're right. Maybe Richard Brown's team cannot lose as they win another one, this time 26-24. Stay tuned. Another roller jam is coming up. It's been a tough night for Talisa Miller. We hope you'll stay with us.